What's up, guys?
Howdy, brothers.
Welcome back to another episode of Whiskey and Water.
I'm your co-host, Jess.
And I am your co-host, Liv. For anyone who is new here, today we have on our dear friend, the one, the only, Alexa Collins.
Alexa Nicole Collins.
And we have been friends with Alexa for like 5 years now.
Yeah, easy.
And she's one of the girls that we consistently shoot content with, like Jalissa, who we also had on the show a few weeks ago. She is a gem of a person. She is so humble, and we have such a great conversation about where she started in her influencing journey and how she has made it to 2 million followers today.
She is such a genuine gem. And this is a really good episode, guys. So stick around.
She's a rock star and she hustles her ass off. So she's a great example of anyone who says oh, influencing isn't hard work. This girl wakes up every single morning and shoots her ass off. And it's just great. She's always hustling. We've always looked up to her in that way. She's always on our feed and we're like, God damn, this girl does not stop.
Yeah, truly.
So yeah, really, really fun stuff coming up. So make sure to listen all the way through the end. But before we get into it, let's catch up, guys. I feel like it's been a minute since we talked to our brothers.
It has.
I love you guys. Honestly, I feel like we've been seeing more. You guys are coming out of the woodworks, and it's so nice to see.
It is.
We got the little Spotify wrap up, and we got a few tags, and we're like, oh my God.
The fact that we were some of your guys' top podcasts made me so happy.
We swear that we're talking to absolutely no one.
Oh, yeah.
We swear that we're talking to ourselves.
I'm literally just here having a conversation with my friend.
We're just talking to each other. But no, it's so nice to hear from you guys. So please, if you've ever thought about reaching out, just reach out and be like, hey, love y'all. And we'll be like, oh my God, love you too.
That's exactly how it'll go.
It doesn't take much to make us happy.
The bar is on the floor,
the bar's set low.
Just say hi. It'll make my fucking day.
Say hi. Anyways, okay, let's get into our high and lows.
Yes. You go first, because I have a lot of highs. Okay,
so we're going to start with lows, I think. So my low has been getting another UTI. Going to make that my personality trait, is getting horrible fucking UTIs.
Make it a brand. Monetize your pain, brother.
No, there's so many in the midst of my pain and desperateness.
Desperation.
I'm Googling, UTI stuff. And there's so many websites that offer quick online appointments and then antibiotic prescriptions where you don't even have to go see a doctor.
Yeah, that's the fucking way to go.
It really
fuck
is.
Seeing a doctor.
It really is. But anyways, I'm on antibiotics now. But yeah, I got another one. I think it's from holding my pee.
You say that's
no,
a thing.
It is a thing.
I've held my pee for a long amount of time.
But everybody's body is not like Jessica's body. You know what I mean? Just because you haven't gotten it from that way. I asked the doctor because I was like, okay, let's ask the doctor. I'm like, is this a thing? And she's like, 100%. Yeah, it's a thing.
Gotcha.
She's like, it's not very common, but it happens.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah.
I was just thinking damn, I'm surprised that hasn't happened to me yet. Not like my body's perfect.
Not all of us can be invincible.
No, I do be getting UTIs though.
No, it's just possible,
Yeah.
It's possible. So I think that's how I got it. Anyways, I was peeing blood again. Not a good time, guys.
Yeah, you get the fucking worst UTIs I've ever heard of.
It's not fun.
I've had one really, really bad one, but I wasn't peeing blood. It just gave me extreme back pain. I thought I had tweaked something in my back. Remember?
That's bad.
I was in LA. It gave me, it had spread to my kidneys because I had never had a UTI. So I didn't know that it was a UTI.
So do you go to the hospital for that?
I did go to the hospital. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's my worst fear.
I was in LA. It had affected my back. I was trying to do stretches to relieve my back pain. I finally went to the doctor. I was like, I have severe back pain. They're like, you have a UTI. And I was like, what the fuck?
And it spread to your kidneys?
Yeah. Or whatever the fuck's in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kidneys.
No, that's how it works. That's my worst fear. That's what I'm so scared of happening.
I'm surprised you don't get back pain.
Well, no, because it doesn't get bad enough. I get the antibiotics before it spreads because I'm so scared of it spreading.
Yeah. No, it was fucked up.
That's gnarly.
So yeah, that shit is not fun whatsoever.
Anyways, that's my low. Last week I was literally sobbing my eyes out. I was in so much pain.
Horrible.
But feeling better now. Fingers crossed. Hopefully these work. But that's my low. And the high is we're going to Nashville tomorrow, bitch.
I am so excited.
We're going to Nashville. It's been a while since we all traveled together. We're going, me, Jess, Macy, and Jalissa, and we're having a little girls trip. It's gonna be so fun.
I know. We invited Alexa, by the way. She couldn't come because she's becoming an aunt this weekend. But yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited to not like going for fun.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for fun.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'll take a few pictures, you know,
Yeah.
but like I'm going with the intention of like we're having fun and we're creating memories and we're gonna like
I'm wearing cowboy boots and drinking whiskey.
and we're not working.
So
Period.
Period.
I mean, I ordered a karaoke microphone on Amazon. So
I'm so fucking excited.
it's about to be lit as fuck.
I'm so fucking excited.
We're gonna be on the airplane with that bitch, being like, "You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey." So yeah, stay tuned.
I'm gonna be like, everyone, please do not clap when the plane lands. But okay, so that's your high.
That's my high.
Do we want to talk about Topgolf?
Yeah, I mean, you guys probably saw it on our feeds, but Basil was a bust.
Truly, I didn't do shit this year. So everyone's been asking, "Oh, I bet you had the craziest Basil."
No,
I'm like,
I'm over it.
I really did not.
We're old.
I'm fucking old. I didn't do shit.
I don't know.
We tried to go to Basel for an event. The traffic. We were in traffic for an hour, and that's what like the projected ETA was. And then by the time we like checked it again, there was another hour.
We had another hour left. It would have taken us 2 hours, maybe even longer, honestly.
So we were fucking hungry, and we mapped. Go for it.
We looked up the closest restaurant.
And it was fucking Topgolf. So we fucking took our asses and our fucking mini dresses and went to Topgolf and hit some balls, had some drinks, got some food.
And then we went home. And that was our Basil.
It was honestly so fun though.
Great Basil. Yeah, no, it was funny and it was hilarious and we made the best of the situation. But I was pissed because the event was Candace Swanepoel and she was at the event. So we would have met her, but it's whatever.
Yeah, I've met her once before. So
God didn't want it to happen. The universe just said no. So Topgolf
the universe knows I probably would have murdered someone by the time I arrived.
Yeah, it was no bueno.
So I'll start off with my low. My low was the one event that I did go to for Basel. I'm going to be fully transparent. My friend, who I thought was a much better friend than they were.
Ooh, you're spilling the tea?
I'm not going to spill all the tea, but yeah, fucking treated me like shit. And it really sucked because, you know, like I feel like I'm a pretty good judge of character. So to not have like seen that coming was a real bummer. It was really a big eye opener for me and, you know, just made me thankful for like the good friendships that I do have where people treat me with respect. And, you know, don't fucking push boundaries.
And respect your boundaries, yeah.
So that was a real bummer because go for it.
It sucks when you like think know someone.
So high, like, and you know, I would have talked about this person like they were the stars in the sky. You know, like loved them, such an amazing person. But to my defense, I did speak to a mutual friend about the situation, and they did say that this person's character has changed as of late. So you know, it's one of those things where you know maybe they just weren't the person that I thought they were, or they've changed, or you know whatever. But yeah, it just really sucks because I'm a good person and I like to be around good people.
Yeah, 100%. No, we're too old for shitty friends. So goodbye.
We're too old for shitty friends. Go listen to that episode because we do have an episode titled We're too old for shitty friends.
We're too good for them too.
Yeah, we are too good for them. But yeah, so that sucked because I was sobbing at an Art Basel event and I don't know who saw me, but probably a lot of people. Some guy messaged me and he was like, "Were you at this event?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was briefly." Trying to see if he was going to be like, "Were you okay?" Because I was not. So that was the low. You know, shit happens, life happens, but whatever. It's a learning lesson. And then my high, I have a few highs. Things have been good. I've been happy.
Yay.
I went to a festival this past weekend. I went to Odyssey and got to see like 21 Pilots, Modest Mouse. And it was just really fun. I had just such a good time. Like I went with two of my friends and just really enjoyed being in the moment and just had a really, really great time. I've been killing it in the gym, if I do say so myself. I've just never felt like so strong. I'm like hitting really good PRs and I just feel just really confident about like my consistency in the gym. Even today, I like did not want to fucking go at all. I was like, I could just stay home. But then I was like, no, this is what it's about. The discipline.
Yeah.
So whatever. Am I better than everyone? I don't know. Maybe. Had Krispy Kreme the other night. That was also really great. I'm going through my camera roll to see what my highs were.
High.
Oh, and then I got a tattoo yesterday.
Yeah, that's fun.
Which is a really fun high for me. I got like the rock on hand. What do you fucking call this?
Rock.
The rock hand. The rock sign.
Rock sign.
You know, like the rock on.
Rock sign.
And it's actually my hand. Like she took a photo of my hand.
Oh, that's cool.
Traced it out and did my tattoos on it.
That's really cool.
So it's my literal hand.
Love
so
that.
that's so fun. And
handception.
Handception. Yeah, right? Like it's literally my hand on me.
On your hand?
Yeah. And Macy got the same tattoo, but in a skeleton form.
It looks sick.
So it's like a little friendship tattoo, but
So
still
cute.
different. So yeah, that was my high. And then
Love that.
Nashville.
And then Nashville. We're going to fuck it up.
I'm so fucking
Can't
excited.
wait, y'all.
I'm just going to drink whiskey.
Just stay tuned for that.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so that is our high and low, our little catch up for you guys. We are going to get into our deep dive.
So fun.
Where we get into one collaboration and we tell you guys how we got it, what the deliverables were, and what our rate is or was for the deal, because we believe in rate transparency and industry transparency.
Hell yeah, brother.
So I'm going to share a partnership that I got with Skechers, and the way I got it is that I actually did brand outreach to them. And I'm really proud of myself for this one.
As you should be.
Because I locked in a deal with Skechers outside of my manager. I've worked with them before, but it was through my manager a few years ago. But I had reached back out and they were pretty much like, they didn't really even negotiate. They were like, hey, looks awesome. Let's ask the team. And then, hey, good news. We would like to move forward with 1 post, 3 stories. And they gave me a rate of $13.50, which for me is
That's a great
really,
rate.
really good. They pretty much just took what from my media kit and just added it all together. So like on my media kit, I have IG stories is I think $250 I have. Is that correct? Math, whatever. So they literally just said like, oh, 3 Instagram stories, $250 times 3 plus her in-feed post rate. Like they gave me that rate. And I was like, let's fucking go.
So did they do 250 times each slide?
Yes.
Oh, that's fire.
Yes.
Because what our rate really is 250 for the story
3
slides.
So they came at me with that.
I was wondering how you said that.
And I was like, let's
when you told me that they did like stories plus that, I was like, the math isn't mathing, but whatever.
Yes, yes. So I'm like hype about that. I actually, fun fact, I did try to negotiate higher because I read through the contract and the usage was worldwide in perpetuity. And I, tried to use that as leverage. I tried to get $1,000 for usage since it was going to be global. And they came back and they weren't able to get that pretty much. So it's fine, but they were able to adjust the usage. And so, yeah, now both sides are happy because, I feel like I'm getting something fair. So, yeah, it's one post, 3 stories. We shot the content together yesterday. Just helped me with her camera and we knocked it out. You guys will probably have already seen it on my feed. So, yeah.
Exciting.
Good stuff.
We love that for you, brother.
Yeah.
Skechers. Shape us.
Skechers.
So I'm going to touch on a couple things. I'm going to touch on like a paid one. And then also, I'm really excited because I got a collab with Abercrombie and Fitch, which I don't know, just really excited for.
Like a dream brand.
I know, just really cool because like that's shit that I would pay for. Really just nice clothes. I ended up pulling for Nashville, which was fun because I'm going to be wearing all those fits in Nashi. So yeah, I was really, really excited about that. And that's just gifting for now, but they are going to keep me in mind for, paid campaigns. But they were like, yeah, just let us know. We'll send you whatever you want. I was like, yeah, I would have done it for free.
Please.
This is great. So that was fun. And then I do have a paid collab. I worked with this alcohol brand. I got it through a platform called Obviously. And if you guys are interested in signing up for that, it's obvious.ly. That's the platform. And then I was like invited to the campaign and then I accepted it and then the brand approved and the deliverables were 2 posts and then like 5 stories like per post. So it was like a lot. And it was annoying because honestly, the platform was kind of a little hard to navigate. It wasn't super mobile friendly. So I would have to like send my content to my phone it was on my phone, then to my computer and like upload it from there. And then you have to like submit all of like the hashtags and the caption through there for the brand to approve. And then it was just like really specific. And then when I submitted the content, like a lot of it wasn't approved because I was on a rooftop because they wanted like good views. And then they didn't approve the content because I was on a rooftop and it could be potentially dangerous. So that was like super annoying. And I was worried that like I was going to have to reshoot. But luckily they didn't make me reshoot. So I was able to just use what I had. But I ended up doing 2 posts. And since the stories weren't approved either, I didn't have to do all those stories. I just posted like what they did approve. And the rate was $3,000. So
did they adjust the rate because there were lower stories or no?
Because it wasn't my fault that they didn't approve
communicate.
it. But yeah, because they didn't communicate. Like, how are you going to tell me that you want good views And then
Like the only views in Miami are
rooftop
a
vibe.
rooftop, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, alcohol brands can be like, it's not necessarily their fault either. They're just trying to cover their asses because
there's a lot of legality with
my God.
like sponsorships with alcohol brands.
Also, like a lot of my stories were like me pouring it into the cup. They were like, we can't do any pours.
What?
Yeah, can't do any free pours. You can't be like drinking it physically.
I know you can't drink it. I've heard that before because it's the same thing for commercials too. You can't like if in any alcohol commercial you've ever seen, no one is actually taking a sip from the alcohol.
Can't. So
really interesting.
So that wasn't my fault. So luckily they did not make me reshoot.
That's
because
awesome.
I would have raised hell because it was really difficult to shoot. Like, you know, it just really had to go out of my way to do that. Like you have to like look really nice. I wanted to like present, you know, especially if I'm like doing something like that, like I want to represent the brand well. Like I want to like, you know, dress nicely for it. I want to have, you know, like a good location. I don't want it to look random, you know. So luckily they didn't make me reshoot it. I just had my second round of content go live. So I should be getting payment here soon.
Yay.
So yeah,
Fun
there's
stuff.
that.
All right, guys, I think that is it. We will not hold you any longer. We'll hop into this episode with Alexa and we'll see you on the other side.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys, we're here with our friend Alexa. She is in the building, in the studio. Welcome to Whiskey and Water podcast.
Hello, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
After a long time, honestly.
Really long time. It's just why have we not do this any sooner? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. You have to hold the mic like right. You got to get in there.
Like, okay, touch it with my mouth.
Actually, just put it in your mouth. Yeah, so we're finally in the Lottie area. I'm glad we can finally get this done. You are becoming an aunt today.
I am. It is my lucky day today, guys. I'm super excited.
Oh my God. I can't believe that. It's insane. But we're
wild.
super excited to have you on and talk about everything influencer related and how you got to where you are today. You recently hit 2 million motherfucking followers.
Yes.
Hell yeah, brother. Love that for you.
Thank you.
For the people who don't already know you and who you are and what you do, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Alexa Collins, born and raised in South Florida, been an influencer for about 6 years now. Full-time job, love it. A lot of work, but people don't realize that, and that's why we're going to talk about some of it today. But yeah, I'm super happy to be here and to introduce myself if you haven't met me yet.
We have been friends with Alexa for so long now. We met pretty much how Olivia and I met, which is, you know, just like through the industry, through modeling. We've definitely done a lot of shoots together.
Yes.
So yes, this was way overdue.
Yes.
So I guess we'll just hop into it and kind of talk about your journey and kind of what led you into the influencing path and what got you to like 2 million followers today.
Honestly, I didn't really know I'd be ending up doing this at all. It's kind of wild to think about it today because my parents were like super pissed at me when I decided to drop out of college and become an influencer.
Welcome to the club. Yeah.
I don't know if they still hold that grudge or like whenever someone's like, oh, where did you go to college? And it's like, for me, it's like hard to answer that question. But we're here now. And yeah, so I think just being here and ending up in this position just kind of happened. I started modeling when I was like 12. I went to Miami and just started trying to get in with the agencies and stuff. And like, it didn't really fit well for me. I got a couple bookings here and there, but that's kind of when Instagram started to become popular. And when people started posting, and I loved it. I loved the idea of it. I loved how easy it was to connect with other people online. And yeah, so I started posting, I started connecting with brands, and I did a lot of free work before I started getting paid. And that's when I ended up dropping out of college and moving back to South Florida to pursue everything. And now it's my full-time job and I couldn't be happier.
Awesome. And so I think a lot of people and, you know, aspiring influencers struggle with like, how do I get from these unpaid gifting collabs to, you know, getting paid and making this a full-time career? So like, when did that kind of switch happen for you? And when did you realize that you could make this a career?
Unfortunately, like I had just said, like you have to do it to start off. And I've told a bunch of girls that are trying to be influencers the same thing. It's consistency every single day, posting. And yes, the collaborations kind of suck because you need to have another job at the same time. You can't make a living off that. But once you start creating that content and posting consistently every single day, you will get noticed by these brands. It's easier to be seen, even though you may not be getting paid. They may think you're getting paid, you know?
Right.
So consistency, and once you hit a certain following, they will notice.
So fake it till you make it is what you're saying.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's funny because we kind of started our pages in the same like way. Like the same thing kind of unfolded for us. Because at first I know you were posting all of your modeling photos. Like every day it was like one of your new shoots. And then that slowly, like the modeling portfolio slowly turned into like an influencer page.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and like none of us expected it to happen that way. It kind of just did. And we're like
grateful.
Yeah, so grateful that we started when we did, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, something that we've always admired about you is how often you post. Like even since the very beginning, like you would be posting literally every day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day. And it's so much, but it was always something that we were like, dude, Alexa's fucking killing it. Like she just stays posting, always on the feed, always showing her face, always on Instagram stories, engaging, talking. I would love to actually talk about that, because something we've talked about on the show before is like, you know, there's different types of influencers, and a lot of influencers who have huge followings don't even go on their stories and talk.
Right.
And that's something you're really, really good about and religious about. So I want to get your take on like why you do that and why you think it's important.
So the reason why I think it's important, I've heard this from so many of my followers, and the feedback that I get from them is I love how you talk to us, because I know a lot of influencers that don't speak to their fans or followers and they don't feel like they know them. You know, I feel like I'm able to like connect with people and be relatable. And like, yes, I'm human. I wake up in the morning with 12 pimples on my face, and I want to tell you guys about it because I don't want people to be like, oh, like she's living this lavish life. Everyone has problems. I want people to know that I'm dealing with things as well. And it feels good to be able to say that. And I feel comfortable in front of the camera. So
yeah, I always admire how you like always show up without makeup as well. Like you'll post without filters. Like you have no problem being super transparent, which I've always admired as well.
Thank you.
And I would love to talk about like how you've broken into the like TikTok algorithm and how you've kind of made a following, like a separate following for yourself over there. And I love it because you're always doing content that I feel like people wouldn't necessarily expect from you. Like I feel like you look at Alexa and you're like, oh, she's gonna be doing some dumbass bitch content, but you're fucking out there dancing, doing just like the silliest shit. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and like if you find that that's like a platform that you kind of like get to show more of your personality on.
Absolutely. I feel like I'm able to be a complete goofball on there. And I am a goofball on Instagram.
It's like real
but it's
Alexa.
like real. Like I love waking up in the morning and like looking a mess and like posting and like posting with Tom. Like I think it's funny. Like, and I feel like that platform allows you to do that. Instagram, like with the photos, like it's kind of like glamorized, I feel like.
For sure.
And yeah, so I love being able to like go on there and just be myself. It feels so good.
It's so funny because like as influencers, like, and I have so many friends that I knew like before the influencer world. And like, it's funny because they'll see me on Instagram and then like I'll have conversations with them and they'll be like, dude, it's just so funny how that's like really not the real you based on the photos.
Yes.
I try to show up on stories more authentically myself. Like I'll post, you know, me having road rage or, you know, something that's on brand. And, but like, you know, these posed beautiful photos are just really not the reality of like who we are.
No, like we're all like, dude, I was like,
we're fucking hot messes.
Yeah, dude. Like I was like in the ER the other day, like dying, like we're constipated, like like this is not real life. And I want people to know that. And that's why I talk so much on my Instagram, because I want to be relatable. I want young girls to know that it's okay to like show up without makeup. It's okay to have acne. It's okay to deal with those problems. So.
100%. I love that you said that we're all a hot mess, because we're part of the crew along with our friends Jalissa and Macy. Jalissa, we also had on the pod. Go listen to our episode a few weeks ago. But it's so funny because we show up to shoot together and we're all just a hot mess. And it's so funny.
Like we all come in, we're talking about our problems. We all start just taking the load off with each other before we start shooting.
Yeah, we just start bitching about our, you know, our lives. You know, we're always grateful, but we're just like being petty and bitching about stupid stuff, just the way coworkers do. But it's so funny because then the end result are like these glamorous photos.
It's so true.
And yeah, I just can really appreciate, especially like, you know, a public figure. I always want to say political figure.
It's all right, girl. We a mess out here.
A public figure, you know, of your scale, 2 million followers, like that's a huge audience. So I love that you are taking your platform. Like, you know, there's a responsibility that comes with that. And I really, really appreciate and yeah, just admire that you take it seriously and want to show people the reality. And like, it's not always perfect.
With that being said, kind of piggybacking off of that, obviously, you know, there's the fun side and it's like, you know, getting to inspire people. And, you know, some people are really, really lovely and, you know, incredibly supportive. But we know more than anyone that there are fucking haters out there.
Holy cow.
So let's talk about it. Yeah. Let's talk about, tell us some of like, you know, let's do a little bit of a story time. Tell us a little bit about like a crazy, you know, fucking hate story that you've had and how you kind of dealt with it, maybe.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't get into like too much detail.
Oh my God.
Because
that's
would
how you
be,
know it's
like,
bad.
Yeah. That would be really bad. But recently this year, I had something happen with a person. I still don't even know who this person is. And yes, I don't even know how to say it without it being not
incriminating.
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, someone was out to get me and they were threatening me and my job and threatening to take money from me and this and that. And it's been really stressful. And I mean, the hate comments, that is, I don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, I do not care. I wake up every morning to messages saying, I hope you die. I hope you die. I hope your husband's cheating on you, blah, 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 blah. Fiance, sorry. And I honestly don't, for some reason, I just don't have the personality to let that get to me. Like, I just haven't ever felt upset. But I know that that can get to some people. And you just have to get to a mindset where you just shut it out or just don't even open the message. When you know it's going to be negative, just delete it.
Love that.
Because at the end of the day, those are the people that don't like to see you do good in life. Those are the people that are super jealous, insecure, they have nothing going on. And the people that actually care about you and want to see you succeed are going to be there in the long run years later down the road.
Yeah. I mean, that is a superpower that you have, honestly. And I think so many people struggle with that. And so many people who want to become influencers also struggle with that because it's like you're putting yourself out there, you know, and like you said, as great and as glamorous and as amazing and blessed of a, you know, job this is, the flip side is that you are opening yourself up to judgment and criticism for anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, I mean, if I didn't have that personality, I can't imagine what that would be like. But you just have to be strong and tell yourself, keep going. And unfortunately, that's going to come with success.
Yeah. And it totally just comes with the territory. But I love that tip of like, just if you already know that, you know, you can already tell by the first few words, don't even read it, you know, just delete it.
What I do, I just delete it, swipe.
Yeah, delete and block. Like it's, yeah. Okay, so it's good, you know, having like the block feature and the delete feature are great tools to have in our toolbox. For the more serious things like, you know, this bigger situation where someone's literally coming after you and your livelihood, which we don't want to give too much away. Obviously, want to protect everyone here. But like, how do you go about that? I mean, does it make you like scared? Does it make you rethink having this platform?
I mean, I've rethought it a lot about having the platform and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, like your success is based on how you deal with things. And I mean, at the end of the day, I have my fiance, Tom, and I feel safe at home with him. So I don't feel like uncomfortable in my house. Like, people are crazy. They'll try to find out your address, try to see where you live. If I didn't have him, I would be in a completely different place.
Right.
And he's always my emotional support system to help me figure out how to deal with things. He makes me feel safe. So that's something that I want to bring up is like, thank God for him, because I would living in my house. Like, I don't know, like these people know my address, right? So that's kind of scary.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's something that we don't like think about and talk about often, but safety and security and privacy are huge things to consider when you are a public figure.
Yep.
And not to mention, those things are like a privilege when you are a public figure, because it's really not that difficult to find out where someone lives, you know, like, and unfortunately it's, you know, it's not that safe. Like, you know, a lot of apartment buildings have you put stickers of, you know, where you live for the garages. Exactly. You know, like someone could take your license plate and figure it out. Like, even today I was at the fucking gym. This guy comes up to me and he's like, I've listened to your podcast. And I'm like, me?
My God.
My podcast? And you know, like, obviously, while it's also a, you know, can be like a really cool thing to be like recognized and have people recognize you while you're out, it's also scary
You have
because
to be careful.
because people are fucking crazy. You know,
they're psycho, like
so
insane.
And with that being said, do you have people that like come up to you in public? You know, I've been with you, I know you do, but let's talk about that a little bit and kind of like, has anyone ever been like, you know, is it mainly, you know, nice people, or is, you know, is it sometimes creepy guys? Because, you know, I'm sure we both have high, you know, pretty high male following, so it's like inevitable.
Yeah, I've had some weirdos like follow me to the car a couple times. Like I have now I had to buy a taser, so I have a taser, pepper spray, like all those like gadgets and stuff, because Tom was like, dude, we need to get you something, because it started happening when I'm with him. Completely different. Like there's creeps, but crazy. They know not to come near me because he's there. When I'm alone, like going to the grocery store or going shopping or something like that, yes, it happens. And unfortunately, I just learned how to deal with it and just have my stuff in my bag and ready to go.
Keep that motherfucking thing on you.
Yeah, man.
What about the good situation? What about like the good interactions where people come up to you and they're like, what is that experience like?
Love it. I love it. Like the other day, someone came up to me and said, I've been following you for 5 years, and you know, it's amazing to see your success. And I was so happy, gave him a hug, took a picture. Like, you know, like I love that. Nice. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I feel like influencing can be so one-sided, you know? So when you actually see the other people who are a part of that, like that number of followers, it's so nice seeing them like in real life, in person.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love that. That's awesome.
I want to talk a little bit about, you know, you do share a lot on your page, and I think you're like very transparent about everything. Where do you feel like where do you draw the line? Where is that boundary for you? And what would be your advice to someone else who's like wants to be open with their audience and wants to be transparent, but also doesn't want to like give away too much of their privacy and their like, you know, their intimate life?
Yeah, of course there's a certain limit or boundary that you just don't cross. I think when it comes to like family problems or relationships, like I'm very open about my relationship, and a lot of people hate it and a lot of people love it. But I feel like there's definitely a boundary that keeps us to have what we have behind closed doors. If we're in a huge argument, which is totally normal and healthy, I'm not going to go post about that and tell people, hey, you know, we're in an argument, he lied to me. Like that's just not necessary. And I feel like that's not fair to my partner's half, you know, like it's just not fair.
Yeah, definitely. And even kind of just piggybacking off of like the relationship, I am kind of curious how, you know, how it works for Tom, you know, to have a, you know, well-known public figure girlfriend who, you know, you have to be a very, very secure man to date an influencer, TBH. So I'm curious about like how that's kind of worked out for you guys.
Yeah, so I mean, we're close. I feel like you guys kind of know a lot of it. Like in the beginning, it was not easy. Like I didn't know if it was going to work out. And I feel like it's hard when you're an influencer and you're in a relationship and you're trying to not mix the two, and there's some jealousy and there's traveling and there's other people, and it's really hard. We have somehow learned how to deal with it. And now we're actually at the point in our lives where we're like growing together. Like we're actually building businesses together because of it and collaborating on things. And it feels so good to be able to do that with him, because now he understands that I'm not doing this like to get attention. Like I'm doing this because this is my bread and butter.
Yeah,
you know?
Like you have to have a man that like respects and understands the profession, because if not, they're just like, oh, you're just posting a picture of your tits on the internet.
Yeah, like dude,
you just want attention.
That's not what we're like going for here.
Yeah.
Like I love him. He knows that we're getting married. Like, but he's learned to respect it, because he's like, babe, like you do well. Like I've seen you grow. Like I want to start doing stuff with you and collaborating with you on projects. Let's make money together. And now we're like at a point where we're like, wow, like it feels so empowering to be able to do that with like him, because he's secure. He knows like he's got it going on.
He's a
like,
great businessman.
He's awesome. Yeah.
And men, this is what you get when you are secure. You get to bag a baddie like Alexa.
Dude, and like full disclosure, I've had a lot of boyfriends.
Yeah.
And they were not secure. And that's why we're here right now.
I remember.
Right? Yeah.
I know. I know. We all know the fucking struggles that we have personally had with men who were not, you know, did not understand the profession and thought that we were just, you know, doing this for attention. And yet here we all are.
But yet still
full-time
people like
full-time influencers.
Still people in the industry still don't understand that. Like, if
For
you go
sure.
on my TikTok and you read my comments, it's like, do you even have a job? Do you even have a job? Do you work?
I
Like,
can't read your
dude,
fucking comments because
like,
they piss me off.
obviously, like, no, I'm just sitting at home making TikToks and, you know, like, that's just what I do for fun.
Yeah,
No.
just being a stay-at-home wife.
And it's like, sometimes I'll comment back, but like, most of the time I just like ignore it, you know?
No, you were.
Dude, I stay in your fucking comments defending you. I'm like, she's not a dumb bitch.
Like, if I get one more comment about my fake boobs, I swear to God, I'm gonna like, I don't even know.
Yeah, and it's like you're like so transparent about it. You're like, yes, I've had my boobs done. Like, it's not like you're trying to hide
it.
It's not like you're trying to. You're like, go watch my YouTube about it. Like, it's not like you're trying to hide it. I don't get people, but I think it's hard for people because they see. Most people create TikToks for fun. So when they see us creating TikToks, they think, oh, you don't have a job. You're doing this for fun. Little do they know the TikTok they're seeing is our job.
Right. Like, it's like sponsored. Dude.
It's our job. And you know, if it's not sponsored, we're growing a platform so that we can get sponsored. So like I remember when I first started I can't talk today. Hosting on the platform, I was like nervous from the judgment of my peers because I was like, God, this is so cringy.
It is very cringy.
You know, and I was trying to like make people understand, like, I am doing this for my career. I am not doing this to embarrass myself for attention.
Like,
I think so many people think it's like for attention, and it's like, no, I'm just trying to get my bag.
Exactly. And it's like there's even a monetization feature on TikTok now. So even if we're not making money doing by sponsored brands, we're still making money. So at the end of the day, you can't listen to the comments.
Yeah. I mean, there's people even like close to us who will be like, you get paid for that? Like, you're getting paid for that post? And like, I'll have conversations with people now who will be like, so is Instagram paying you or is a brand? And I'm like, Instagram is not lining my pockets, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately,
it's crazy that people like, you know, still to this day don't really understand it. And I feel like that's, you know, a big reason why we are so transparent on the podcast with like money and deals and partnerships and, you know, everything of that nature, because there needs to be more transparency in the industry to legitimize it, because so many people don't see it as a legitimate career.
No, like I can't you just, for some reason I've gotten to the point where I just feel like I don't have to explain myself.
Yeah, and you
know
don't.
What I mean?
You really don't.
None of us have to explain ourselves. It's just how it is.
So yeah, let's dive into, you know, what your partnerships look like, you know, the brands that you've gotten to work with, you know, things of that nature.
Yeah, so as of right now, I have made some changes. I've kind of left a manager that I had for a while.
Yeah.
And I've moved on to working. Now I have 3 managers. And, you know, non-exclusively, I work with them. They get me brand deals. And then I have my own separate brand deals that I do on my own and I negotiate on my own as well. It all just depends on who reaches out to who. But yeah, I mean, basically, you know, as it has always been, I have a media kit. I have my set rates and I negotiate with the brand, or my agents negotiate with the brand. And that's that. I mean, it's super simple. It has gotten a lot better because it's been like really tough making that transition with the agencies and managers and everything. But now I feel like I'm finally in a place where it's like productive and like easygoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about the importance of having having a manager, and maybe like working with a manager versus working on your own, and if you feel like there's one that's better than the other, or, you know, the pros and cons of both.
Yeah. So I think realistically, it's good to have several non-exclusively, because that way I feel like different agencies and different managers have different types of styles. So they have different clients that they will bring you. And the more managers you have, or the more agents you have, the more clients there are, right? Because they're reaching out to different people at once for you. So yeah, I think it's important to have a manager because you want someone to be able to negotiate higher for you for your deals. I know that some people think that that's not necessary, but it does help. It really has helped me over the years, and I appreciate them.
For sure. And, you know, Liv and I had the same manager that you recently left, which, you know, the tea, but that's totally fine. But it's crazy because even though he's gotten me, you know, a deal with this company, he's got me multiple deals, and then they actually reached out to me personally. And it's a non-exclusive deal. So like I probably could have taken the deal, but then I felt bad because I was like, no, he's the one that's always gotten me the deal. Let me just run it through him. He got me the highest rate that ever have gotten paid for a single
yeah, girl.
post. So like as I would have charged, you know, $1,000 for a post, you know, that's like my pretty standard rate, which I'm actually increasing, just FYI.
Get it, girl.
He got me 4,000. He got me 4,000 for the fucking post.
Yeah.
So just goes to show that, you know, I don't know what kind of pull he has, what he's, you know, whose dick he's sucking back there, but it's working.
He's got to do what he's got to do.
No, I'm kidding. He's honestly, he's great when he wants to be.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
So, you know, it's having managers can definitely be beneficial because they're, you know, they have these relationships with the clients that, you know, really do take years to build. And, you know, they have your best interest in mind because they're trying to get their highest commission.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like some managers like go to dinner with these clients and negotiate.
Yeah,
like that's how
so
it works.
true.
Like a lot of people, they
I
like,
ain't going to dinner with nobody.
I know. I'm like, I don't feel like getting out of the house. I'm wearing my sweatpants today.
Yeah, no. But for the deals that you don't go through your managers and that you just deal with your own, I'm assuming that you don't do much brand outreach unless it's a brand you really, really want to work with. So I can only imagine your inbox is flooded with, you know, inquiries of people wanting to reach out to you. How do you tell us a little bit about how you manage time? I know you're an early riser, but the thought of what your inbox looks like gives me anxiety. So tell us a little bit about how you manage your time, how you don't get stressed out, and yeah, any like kind of tips you have for that.
Well, I do get stressed out.
Okay.
And there are a lot of dick pics in my inbox. So that's one thing. So it's like half dick pics, half brand deals. You know what I mean? So like there's all, yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
no.
But
Never mind. I don't want 2 million followers. Never mind. I take it back on.
No, I'm just kidding. But like with the clients that I work with, everything is a negotiation process. I try to make it really short and simple with my media kit, which has just been updated by our friend Macy. And yeah, that's just what I use. And if we want to negotiate and they don't feel that the rate is appropriate, I will negotiate to an extent.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I mean, it's as easy as that.
Yeah.
You know?
And then as far as like actually time blocking and stuff, do you feel like you're always like running through to-do lists, or do you feel like you like what does your time organization look like?
So I wake up every day around like 6:30 every single day. I'm out of bed. And the first thing that I do is go through my email and write out my day. I literally write it out because I'm old fashioned and I hate doing it on my computer.
That.
It just makes me feel good to like be able to write it out and plan it. So I do that, and then I get ready and I start shooting every single day. I shoot every single day, no matter if it's stories, reels, TikToks, whatever it is. And then I usually finish around dinner time, and me and Tom are total grandparents, and we eat dinner at like 6.
Love it.
And then my day, I take that rest of the time to like decompress because it is a lot. I have an assistant and we go all around town shooting and doing 20 different looks in a day. And it's like, it's tiring.
Yeah.
It's like at the end, she's like, I'm exhausted. I'm like, how do you think I feel, girl?
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize how like exhausting and tiring it is to actually pose and to shoot. You know, especially for like hours on end. Like
it's more like the travel time for me. It's just like getting the car packed, getting the looks, and then changing in between, going to the beach, going to locations.
Yeah.
Like, it's freaking tiring.
It's also wild that you shoot every single day, because like we shoot a lot too, but not every single, like we shoot like, you know, when we go to Stardust, or like, you know, we shot yesterday, like once a week, maybe we could even push to like once every 2 weeks if we're slow.
Yeah.
But the fact that you wake up and do your makeup every fucking day, like I fucking respect it.
It's nice when it's like, when there's like a day when I can just like take off, not wear makeup, and just be like a hermit.
Yeah, no, that's a lot. Like I that's definitely a lot. It's a full, you're pretty much doing a photo shoot every single day.
Yeah.
But I also think it's great because something I've noticed for us, like with creating content, we are so much more likely to create content when we do our makeup.
Yes, because you feel good. You're like energized, and I always feel like makeup wakes me up.
Yeah.
Like I know that sounds weird, but like when you put on concealer, it like kind of wakes me up a little bit. I feel tired when I don't wear makeup, but
yeah, no, it's because you know you look tired, and I feel like it makes you feel tired too. Yeah. But I feel like definitely if we made it a point, we actually. One of our goals for last year was like to wear makeup more, like put on makeup at least 3 times a week, because we like get TikToks done, we go on our stories and talk. It's just like
super true. It's
it
like
encourages you more to show your face and show up.
Yeah, it's super motivating.
We gotta start doing that.
I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to give myself like 2 days a week to not wear makeup and like chill out. But.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just not in you, your personality.
No, I'm too hyper.
Like if the work is there, you're gonna do it, and if you can do more work, you're going to do it.
I'm very, very hyper. Like it's bad. Like that's why I get tired at 6.
Okay, another aspect I want to get into, which I know you've also been transparent about. You have made YouTube videos about it, all of those things. Oh, actually, let's talk about YouTube too. We'll circle back to that. I want to talk about OnlyFans. And Jess and I, you know, before we even created our own profiles, we had someone on. She was a mathematician by day, did OnlyFans like at night. That was the title of it. She, you know, our friend Lizzie. But we've been trying to like break the stigma around it, and it's so interesting to see how it's playing out and to see that so many major big influencers, like pretty much every big influencer now, has an OnlyFans. And I think, you know, a lot of people were scared at first about the judgment, the stigma associated with just the website name itself. But so many people decided to say, fuck it, and made their accounts. Personally, I'm very glad I did.
Absolutely.
I can only imagine you feel the same way. But let's talk a little bit about that and your decision to create the account, maybe what Tom's input was about that, because I know being in a relationship and also having that is an interesting thing to navigate too.
Yeah, so I mean, that was a very interesting thing to bring up to him. He was like, whoa, dog. But no, we're totally cool now. I think if you want to find a way to create passive income, it's a no-brainer. And I do feel like it's a great way to interact with my followers on a more personal level. As I said, excuse me, in my YouTube video, like if you want to have that relationship with them, you should be able to be on there and chatting with them. And, you know, it is what it is. I think it's amazing. And he totally supports it now. He thinks it's great. Obviously, it's awesome. And the agency that I'm with, they're amazing to me. They treat me like family. I talk to them every single day. And it's been awesome. So I have nothing bad to say about it. And I love it.
So how have you kind of dealt with like the stigma around it? Like,
yeah, the stigma, and also like for me especially, and I can imagine for you, like the stigma specifically with like friends and family.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah, I want to know how you've dealt with that, because that is like a topic of awkward conversation that, you know, like really obviously we don't want our fiance's mom seeing that we have a fucking only, like, you know, and we know what it is and we know what we're posting on there, but to an outsider, you know, they might not know.
It has to be addressed.
Yeah, okay, tell us, fill us in.
If it's not addressed, then that's always going to be up in the air. And honestly, I don't even know if like Tom's parents even know what that is. But I like some of his family members have like kind of like brought it up and hinted at it, and they're like, "What's this?" Like, yeah, I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like it's, and there is such a stigma with it. But they know who I am, and they know that, you know, I'm not doing anything like bad. So like they are totally cool with it. But like for example, my dad, his ex-girlfriend like hated me because I had an OnlyFans.
What?
Yeah, like. He actually told me this yesterday. Now that we're talking about it, it's kind of weird. But he told me, he's like, yeah, she just like didn't like agree with you, and it's like super disrespectful. I was like, well, there's a reason why you're not dating anymore.
Yeah, period.
No, but
spill the tea.
Yeah, no, my dad's the best, and he, you know, he's so supportive of it. He knows, he loves it. Yeah.
And it's so funny how many comments we get, like fatherless activities.
Oh yeah,
you know, like. Right? Is your dad proud? And it's like, yes, motherfucker.
Actually,
my dad is fucking
you know
proud.
what? I got a call from him yesterday. He's like, I've never been so proud of you. He's like, dude, you're doing amazing. And he's been my day one supporter.
Yeah.
You know? So,
and I think it's just a matter of them knowing us and knowing our intentions and knowing that we're not, you know, doing anything that would disappoint them, you know, but like, and also knowing that we're in it for the biz. Like it's a career, and it's like for us, we're on every other platform. We try to be on, like, to know it, on YouTube, on TikTok. It's like, why would we not be on another platform to make an income for ourselves?
I think it's one of the smartest ideas, social media wise, that I've seen in years. I mean, it really is. It's crazy.
And just like the wave that it's, you know, the grip that it has on so many people. And I think it's, you know, it would be silly not to, because it's like, you know, the same content that we're creating that we just don't share on Instagram. We're just selling those sets. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
it's genius.
And literally just selling content, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it just makes so much sense.
And that's kind of where it should have been from the start. But
yeah. And I think it is much more normalized now because so many influencers have it. Like if any of our girlfriends are like ever asking about it, we're like, do it. You're gonna make so much
and
money.
that kind of like leads into like other things. Like I'm kind of working on a project right now, and it's like a similar model, and it's like the subscription service type of deal.
Right.
It's just gonna become more and more of a thing because that's where the money is in the subscriptions.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like we always hear about people even like selling courses or selling
Yeah.
ebooks, and it's like those are all subscription based
Yeah.
platforms. It's passive.
Yep.
And of course, like there's so many unknowns with being an influencer and content creator. Like we don't know, the industry is so new. It's kind of, you know, in some ways still the Wild West. So we don't really know what it's going to look like in 5 years.
Right.
You know, and I think to be able to look ahead and try to see like what's going to stick around, what's going to make us money, what's going to give us a more sturdy platform, you know, career to sit on is the smartest thing we can do.
Absolutely.
And not putting all of our eggs in one basket, you know?
Exactly. You have to do different things, and there's so many opportunities with it that comes with it. I mean, it's crazy.
What advice would you give to girls following you who are just dying to be an influencer, but they just aren't maybe like secure enough in themselves, confident? Like where should they get started, and what like mental advice would you give them?
You just have to have that mindset that I spoke about earlier. Your people don't want to see you succeed, and you have to realize that in order to succeed, you have to put yourself out there. If you don't, no one's going to notice you. No one's going to see you. And in your mind and in your heart, you should know that you're beautiful, you're smart, you know, like you're a good person, and that's just how you have to look at it, because otherwise if you don't post, where are you going to go, right? So you just have to put yourself out there. Consistency, posting every day, engaging with your followers, I find that so important.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's something we could be really a lot better at, is engaging. How do you feel like is the best way to engage with your audience? Like through DMs, or is that overwhelming?
Yes. Honestly, like I answer a lot of my DMs, and like even this morning I'm doing just like a 2022 like calendar thing, and I'm speaking to some of these people, and there's even women, you know, who are like, oh my God, like can I get one? I follow you, like you're an inspiration. It's like people are watching you, and you know, when you wake up in the morning and you're like pooping, like it's fine because you're human, right? At the end of the day, you're human.
Yes.
I'm so raw. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It works. We love it here.
Wait, you poop?
Yeah, a lot.
Wait, girls poop?
A lot. I'm human, you know.
And tell us a little bit. I know you started on the YouTube platform this year. I think we started around the same time.
We did.
If I remember correctly. How has that been for you, and what has that growth been like?
Oh God, it's a tough one.
It's slow.
Oh my God.
It is so slow.
It's interesting, and the algorithm is interesting, and I'm still learning about it, and I still don't quite understand it. Like I post once a week every Sunday, and I'm growing, but it's slow. Like I've had videos that have just hit, and then some that just don't
flop.
Like they just completely flop. So it's like very inconsistent, and I'm working at it. And I even remember when I started it, and this like really stuck with me. Jake Paul messaged me and said, don't stop posting. I think I told you that. It's like, just keep posting. It will hit. Like it will hit. You can't give up, because how do you think they got to be where they are? Because they kept posting.
And what made you look at YouTube and be like, okay, I'm gonna start on there?
Because it's more my personality. Like I want people to see my life, like day-to-day relationship, home stuff. Like it feels more organic to me, and I think that's where content is changing. I think people are starting to like actually feel like they can be themselves. Like if you even go on TikTok with these short reels and clips, they're like actually like on there like popping pimples and doing day-to-day things, because like I love the glamorized post. I love it. It's great. But there's only so much you can get out of that, especially with these like brand deals and stuff. So.
Yeah, I agree. I would say the industry is definitely, if it hasn't already, it's definitely taking a turn towards more organic, relatable content and content creators.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's any easier. It's hard, because you are on there like posting like makeup videos and stuff. It's hard to like edit those and make those. I had to do one last week. I'm like, oh my God, this isn't easy. Wow. you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
As far as like the YouTube growth, I feel like it's like a blind thing. Like you just have to post blindly and like not even look at the numbers.
It's tough, right?
Just keep posting.
It's
just keep
tough.
posting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just don't really get it.
Yeah,
just
no.
yet.
But I think it's also one of those things that like because whenever we see YouTubers and we see their Instagrams, their engagement is always ridiculously high.
It's true.
It's so much higher.
It completely goes over to Instagram, but I've noticed that Instagram doesn't go over to YouTube.
Not at all.
It's a completely different audience.
Not at all.
So a lot of people who are like into Instagram just don't YouTube.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before on the show. It's like there's people who watch YouTube and there's people who don't. And like it's really hard to get someone who doesn't
to do it. So like you can only promote it so much on your Instagram. You don't watch YouTube.
Even the videos that she's in, like I don't even think she watches of mine. She did like there's just like a mental block. Like people just don't, if you're not already in it. Because a lot of people
want like fast content. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like reels are great because they're quick and they're like 30 to 60 seconds. That's great. But like a whole like 10, 20, 30 minute video, you're like, all right, like how many ads can I see? Like, and that's what's changing. I know YouTube is doing kind of a I don't know if you heard about it, like a TikTok based thing now.
Yes.
They're doing clips instead of videos.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe,
Yeah, we actually have clips on our Whiskey and Water podcast YouTube, so check those out.
Nice.
But yeah, I agree. It's like totally a different type of content to consume. And like the people who I have heard who are like, oh, I love watching your YouTube. They're like, I watch it when I do my laundry or I watch it when I like do this. Like they incorporate it in their lives. Like, so they're not just sitting there watching a YouTube.
Like a podcast. Like people do like listen to the podcast while they're doing other things,
A lot of people put it on their TVs. Like I know like a couple that watches ours like on the TV. I'm like, all right. Well.
Like background noise.
Yeah, it's like a show.
I know you do the questions on your stories every week. What is like the most I kind of want to hit some questions that maybe your audience might want to know. I wish we would have thought to do that, but it's fine. What is like some frequently asked questions that you get in your inbox that you think your audience is like the most curious about?
A lot of questions about Tom.
Yeah.
A lot of questions. And he gets questions in his inbox now. So that definitely a lot of like beauty questions, like hair and makeup and all that kind of stuff, tanning products. And then just like, how do you deal with like the hate questions?
Yeah. I think a lot of people look up to you for that, about the hate. What type of questions do they ask about Tom? Are they just like nosy? I'm curious.
Yeah, like a lot of them are really rude. Like a lot of them are like, how much does Tom make? Like or like super intrusive and nosy, and it's like that's none of your business. That's not and just like I mean a lot of them are good. Like when we got engaged and stuff, like those questions were great. Like how did he do it? How did you guys know, you were the one for each other? Like those I love. But when it comes to like the intrusive questions, like, oh, like, has Tom cheated on you? Have you like, dude, why would I ever answer that? Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I think people just they
want the tea.
They want the tea, and they think that they have access to you in your personal life.
Like I have a personal life. Like
and you have to keep it private. It would be doing a disservice to yourself if you didn't keep it private.
And my relationship.
Yeah, 100%. It's like not healthy at that point.
Yeah.
So when I met you and when we started getting close, you and I were dealing with a unique situation in which you were dealing with one of your exes who was like obsessed with you, and then when you found Tom, I was so excited for you. I remember you like I honestly remember you texted me like the day after because you guys like met and had like a great night together, and you're like, I think I love this guy. You're like, he was great. This was great. So I want to know like, just more about the relationship and just like a relationship advice in general and how, I guess how you guys knew you were the one for each other. And honestly, if anyone knows you and if anyone sees you guys together, it is abundantly clear that you guys are soulmates.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like we had a rough patch in the beginning. Like it was not easy, and there were a lot of humps that we had to go through. Like when we first started dating, we like kind of transitioned into moving in with each other, and then we got an apartment together, and then we got our first house together. Now we're getting our second house together. Everything that you do like with your significant other is in like steps. Like you have to build up to get to like the point you want to be in. And I don't think any relationship is perfect. I mean, I'm not saying I'm an angel. Like I have my flaws, he has his. But we've found a way to just make it work. I can't really explain that. Like there's always that spark with us. But I think to keep it alive, like you have to like do things to like make it that, like you can't expect a relationship to be exciting if you don't make it exciting. Like we try to do date night every Thursday. We try to like keep it alive. He's super romantic always. And like I know it's cheesy, but like those things mean a lot. The little things for me. But yeah, I mean, everyone has their flaws and we just like found a way to just make it work. I don't know how, like, to be completely honest, like it's just been a rocky road. And now the past like year and a half, it's been so smooth and everything's great.
Good. Yeah. What does your communication styles look like?
We are so tight that way. I mean, we tell each other everything. If I'm out of the house, we're texting all day. Like we're just very close in that sense.
Love that.
Yeah.
How long ago did you guys get engaged? Like 2 months, 3 months?
It's been like 3 months now.
Okay, so 3 months you guys have been engaged for, and I want to know, like, how did you know you were each other's people? I know you like had, you moved in together, you got the house together, but like, was there a specific moment where you were like, okay, yes, like this is a person I want to spend the rest of my life with, or was it like that from the start?
No, it wasn't like that from the start, and it sounds kind of stupid, but like I always told myself I was never going to get married. So that's kind of bizarre. I was always like, I don't want to be married. Like, I don't want to have kids. Like, I'm just doing me. And then he's the one person that could have changed that for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think I realized he was the one like halfway through living in our house and like having like building a life together and actually like getting another dog together and realizing how good he is with the dogs. Like, I know he'll be like a good dad one day. Just knowing that like he's always there for me. Like, he is always there. He's never failed me.
Aww.
He's never like he's always like keeping the spark alive. He's super like romantic, always surprising me. He's just I could go on all day.
Oh, that's amazing.
No, but yeah, I mean, I knew just from the way that I was treated by him compared to the other men that I dated, like he cares about me, not just himself.
Hard to find. Hard to find.
He's very selfless.
That's amazing. Yeah. What would be your advice to someone? Like, what's your best relationship advice? What is your advice for a relationship that is healthy, it works, the spark is there? Like, your final take on that?
Communication. 110%. Like, we have worked on that the most out of anything, because if you don't and you keep your feelings in, you will explode. And that's going to cause problems. If you don't communicate about something that's bothering you and talk it out like we have before, we blow. And then that's when the big fights happen. That's when one of us walks out. If I just sit him down calmly and talk about it, we will resolve an issue. Like, we got into a fight yesterday and I was like, let's sit down and talk about it. And
it's amazing what like words can do.
Yeah.
And like, if you actively work on de-escalating the situation instead of just like, making jabs at each other and then letting it explode.
Worst. And then you say things you don't mean, which I am known for that. Like, I'm that person that's like, I don't want to be married to you anymore. Like, I don't want to be engaged to you. I don't want to do, like, it just gets you nowhere. Yeah. Like, I'm the jabber, for sure. I admit it. Yeah. So
it's because these discussions have to be like solution based and not like just arguing to fucking argue. Circles. Like, okay, are we gonna come to a solution, or are we just gonna fucking yell at each other? You know what I mean?
There's no point, because you're just gonna go like this
exactly
all day, which I can.
I feel that.
I could do it.
Okay, so I mean, I feel like we covered a bunch of stuff. Thank you so much for being so transparent with us. But before we wrap up, we have 2 questions that we ask every guest. Sure. The first one is, what is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Okay, I gotta think about that.
Yeah, I know, it's a hard one.
Best piece of advice. I mean, I guess if we're talking in terms of like work, just be consistent and don't stop trying, because you will eventually hit your end goal with anything that you do. I'm not speaking just for influencers or people who are aspiring to be influencers. Like, keep working at something, it will hit eventually.
Be consistent. And the final question is, what is your best biz pro tip? So like a business pro tip that you feel like it would make people's lives easier or better.
Get on a schedule. I'm so scheduled. It's kind of scary, but
like by the minute, by the hour.
Yeah, like alarms, like all day. Like, I set alarms, and I learned that from Tom, actually. We set alarms for things that we have to do, because you forget, you don't. Writing things down, setting alarms, booking out your month in advance. That's super important to me, and just keeping organized and waking up early. schedule.
Oh, waking up early. Working
Yeah,
on that
Missy.
one.
Yeah,
Working on
yeah.
it.
I know.
All right, guys. If you want to follow Alexa on her journey, where can people find you at?
On Instagram, you can find me at Alexa Collins, TikTok, Alexa Nicole Collins, and YouTube is just my first and last name, Alexa Collins.
Follow her on TikTok. She's hilarious. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you liked it, if you loved it, take a screenshot. Let us know you're listening. Tag all of us. And that wraps it up. We'll see you guys next week for another episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.